Hello and welcome back to another episode of Notion Bonsai, and today we're going somewhere real special. We're going over to England to the Tony's Bonsai Meetup. So this is the city that I am from here. I'm just about to grab a bus to Belfast. The bus leaves at 8 p.m. and right now it's like 10 minutes to 8, so I gotta run. So I've just arrived here now in Belfast City. I have to go now and try and find my hostel. It is the next day right now, and I'm just waiting on a taxi to come and take me to the airport. It is 10:37 a.m. I woke up this morning at about 6 a.m. Ended up wandering around the hostel, made some coffee in the kitchen, and now we're off to Leeds. Are you for Adam? Oh my god, look at this. How are you, Jason? So as of right now, I am in Wakefield, which is a place just outside of Leeds. And yesterday when we arrived in Leeds, we met Jason Hanrahan from the Bonsai Garden. He was so kind enough to let me stay at his house. That's where I am right now. Jason is actually right over here.
Hello.
And right now it is the day after, and today's the day we're going to Tony's Bonsai Extravaganza. How's it going, Jason?
It's going well, thank you.
This is Jason and his beautiful bonsai garden over here, all the way around here. There will be a tour video coming soon. Excited for the extravaganza?
It'll be interesting to see how the day goes.
This is Jason's cat, Amber. How long do you have her?
She's about 8 years old now.
This is Jason's great big crab apple from Heron's Bonsai. You want to say anything about it?
Just that it's really the prize tree in my collection.
Yeah.
It's the most expensive one as well. So each one of these crab apples was a flower, and probably about 6 weeks ago it was just covered in blossom.
We have made it to Tony's Bonsai's house.
Hello, you right? Tony's round the back. Can I get you a drink or a bacon butty or anything?
I'll get one of those.
Yeah.
But a bacon butty would be great.
Great. Do you want a bacon butty as well?
That'd be great too. Thank you. Jason has made me a name badge to put on.
Right, I came over.
Oh, look at you.
Nice
to see you, buddy. Hey, thanks for coming, mate.
No problem. It's good to see you.
Nice to meet you. Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
How you doing? Good to see you, buddy.
Got that
Alright.
out, yeah. Hi Jason, how you
Might be a
doing?
surprise,
Long time no see.
but we're talking trees. Xavier's brought this.
So we're here now at Tony's Bonsai's Extravaganza.
It's going absolutely brilliantly. All the sort of support cast is here now. Xavier, Jason, Adam, and obviously the bonsai master.
Tony, can I have your autograph, please?
Autograph later.
Can I have your t-shirt then?
There's Xavier Martinez from Expressions of Grace.
Well, it's Expressions of Grace, the website. That's the book.
Yeah.
And then there's the Bonsai Retreat.
What is this? This is your tree?
Oh, this is the rubbish tree that you've given me all the good advice on and told me what I should do with it. I've had fun with that.
What kind of pine is it?
It's It's nearly dead pine. No, it's Scots pine.
Oh, lovely.
Will you give me any special message when to start? If I get you to rub your tummy and pat your head, that's it.
You can start with.
Yeah, I've got it recorded.
Welcome to Tony's Bonsai. We've got our first demonstration, everybody.
Oh, everybody, Tony's dad, give a big wave.
Here we go. Wave.
Yeah.
Come in, man.
Hello and welcome to Tony's Bonsai.
So what have you got there?
This is a great big hawthorn. Tony, do you want to talk a little bit about how you collected this tree?
I worked on this tree in the ground before I collected it. So I worked on it for about a year and a half, did a trunk chop, did some pruning, and then I collected it about, not spring just gone, the spring before, and it's now basically ready for a bit of magic. So I don't know what your plans are, but it just wants a bit of shape adding, some of the branches removing. And
Will I take the wire off of it?
is the wire on it?
Yeah, there's some on it here.
Yeah, get the wire off.
Alright, okay.
Feel free, Adam, feel free to do whatever you want.
Okay,
Add wire, remove wire,
right.
chop it.
So I'm just going to get rid of all the wire on it first, just so that we can work on it a lot easier.
We thought we'd taken all the wire off every tree.
It's a little bit here.
Can we just ask, is there any face powder or some powder pack for your forehead? Because there's a bit of sun glare I noticed there. You know, the usual stuff.
So do you prefer to cut the wire off or do you unwire?
He does, really, yeah.
Yeah, I usually put it.
Okay.
So what tools would you recommend for this operation then? Would you lay them out?
I'm going to do a little bit of styling on the branches, cutting them back. So we've got some scissors, then some branch cutters if we decide to remove any major branches and cut in close. And then here, I think these are wire cutters.
They are.
Yeah, wire cutters.
Electrician's wire cutters.
Yeah. I find the bonsai wire cutters that I have are a little bit, on the thicker pieces of wire, it's a little bit trickier to cut on them. So these are actually really great for that.
Is there anything special that we should take into account when we're cutting wire?
Whenever we're cutting wire off of the tree, we try not to slice through the bark of the tree and damage it that way. Try and not cut so close to it. Yeah.
He can remove the wire and he prunes the tree at the same time.
Easily done.
This aluminium wire on this,
Yeah, it's all like that.
Yeah, they don't get the posh stuff in Preston.
I find copper wire is a lot trickier to work with. Like it self-hardens.
Yeah, I've never tried copper wire.
And like, if you were to take copper and bend it and then try and unbend it, it doesn't.
Yeah, it goes hard.
Yeah. Whenever I learned to wire, it was all I had was a stainless steel reel of wire. And it was so tricky. Your fingers. Yeah.
Jewellery wire.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Mandy?
That jewellery wire. So it's gold plated, silver plated, copper wire. So it is copper wire inside.
I'm going to say, where have you come from? Kensington? Palace?
What's the base or the Navari looking like on that?
You can't see much of it yet. It's probably under the top layer of soil. So I'm thinking that it's quite flaring out that side. And then this way around here, it'd be quite a nice front also, because you can see the line and curve of the trunk.
So what sort of things are you considering when you're thinking about the front of a tree then?
I'm thinking about how thick does it look at the base. Then I'm thinking about what side of the tree shows most of the trunk line. And then if there's any special features of the tree, perhaps we could show them off and have them more towards the front also. It's got a nice craggly bark here at the front, so I'm thinking maybe this would be a nice front.
Yeah, it's got a nice bit of movement as well, just gentle, graceful movement.
Thinking already with this, just to give it a profile cut to start with before.
A bowl cut.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna come here, shorten these to start with.
Ooh. Sorry, did you have something you wanted to say about that, Tony's dad? John. I can't believe you gave the camera to the one person who says they can't use a camera.
Oh, you're doing a great job.
That's because I'm not near a bonsai.
Is your arms tired yet?
No, I just keep flexing my biceps because I have got quite big pecs.
Xavier's my cameraman.
So has anyone got any questions about this, by the way? Anyone do anything differently already?
Do you know how that camera works? Have you switched it on?
Thanks for that, Jason. Well, there's the true bonsai masters at the back there. You did a really good tree, didn't you?
I've been known to do a really good tree every now and again.
So anything that's like a little bit too long at the moment, I'm just going to prune back. Even here. Before we make any like major crazy decisions of pruning it right in at the trunk, I'll just leave it a little bit longer just in case we decide to change our minds later.
Tony, have you often changed your mind about decisions you've made with your cuts?
Only after I've cut the wrong one off.
I remember that video.
What do you think about this one here, Tony? Should it be kept there, or would we wire it down a little?
Definitely could be wired, yeah. Do whatever you think
Alright.
is good. Just go with your instinct.
Okay.
Basically, he wants to be able to blame you if it goes totally wrong.
This one here is growing, this big long whip. It's growing right in at the elbow of this branch, and if I leave it any longer, you will get some inverse taper there.
Is inverse taper a big issue?
It is if you like that sort of tapering of the trunk where it goes thick to thin. If you leave a branch in an area like that, it could swell too much over time, and then you'll get that.
I know I get a lot of questions about, you know, am I worrying too much about inverse taper with some decisions? What do you think about that?
Leaving a branch for like that one that was just there, if I left that an extra year, maybe it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But if you leave it any like extreme length of time, then it would get quite swelling.
Do you know why nature doesn't follow the rules of bonsai? Because I've noticed a lot of trees have inverse swelling. It really confuses me.
The tree will do what's best to survive.
Exactly.
And I think whatever it gets it energy, if it puts a branch somewhere and it's getting lots of energy from that area, then it will just keep growing the branch to survive. But I think in bonsai, when we wire trees and especially cut them like this to thin them out and let the light inside, then it's not such a big issue.
It's one of the questions that often comes up on comments.
Yeah.
That we get so caught up with this inverse swelling and that taper and
quite congested in this area here. There's a lot of branches crossing each other. See here? So I'm just going to thin that out and remove some of the branches that are quite low down.
Do you need to worry too much about dieback when you remove branches like this? Is there a size where we should be worried about it?
I'm not sure too much with hawthorn. The maples, yeah. Like I would leave like a centimetre on a maple. Yeah.
Should we let the bonsai police go by overboard? Silver birch is a bit more difficult. Have you had problems with silver birch on dieback on?
Not I haven't personally, no. Ray has.
I don't entertain them.
You know? Yeah. What, just branches just died in the spring?
Yeah.
They just don't come out.
Yeah. I'm having to rebuild my silver birch that lost the whole apex because of that. Either that or it's because I put rat poison on it by mistake.
Yeah.
No, that was from a specially sanctioned location.
Told you.
And when do you collect specially sanctioned material?
I like to collect in spring. I know you collect some in autumn and stuff, don't you, Zav?
I found definitely in the early winter.
I like spring.
Especially for oak.
Especially with hawthorn, you collect just as the buds are beginning to swell, as they're turning red, as the buds turn red. You can't go wrong.
Here, this branch is getting quite thick.
Okay.
This area.
That's
this
the one I'd lose.
You get rid of this one?
Depends, if you're keeping that one,
Yeah.
all three are in the same plane almost.
Yeah, and it's good to have it
you either
staggered.
lose, and I just think that's almost too parallel.
Yeah.
So that would be the one I'd consider. Here we go! See, now if you look at that, yeah, you can see the movement so much better.
Yeah, it opens it up a lot more
It
here
does.
also. Let me get rid of this. This one's growing straight down. Get rid of that.
If I'm looking at the front being here, then I don't see a point of it.
Yeah.
But
this
can we put this one up to a vote?
Yeah, sure.
So what's there's a question here from the front. Eye poker branches. Who thinks it's an eye? Point to the eye poker,
This
Adam.
branch here, what do you think?
I'd get rid of it.
Yeah.
Are we raising our hands for getting rid of it or keeping it? Who wants to get rid of the eye poker?
Yeah, just spin it around.
Get rid of it?
Spin you around, Jason.
What do you think? Can we get rid of it?
It's got to go.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, they say keep it.
Keep it.
Not that one!
See the way he flexes his muscles.
We're going to do some wiring on this. I feel like this branch here needs to come down a little.
Right.
And this one here, as I was chatting with Xavier, we think this might look best if it comes over this way. If you're new to bonsai and you don't know much about wiring, we do this thing where we wire two branches together with one piece of wire. So I'm going to wire this branch to that branch.
Does anyone want to do a critical assessment of Adam's wiring?
Yeah, you can judge my wiring. So you can really judge me now, Xavier.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
You've been wiring for a long time, I can tell.
this was going to be a little bit longer. I'm going to go the same way. with this one because see the scar in here?
Yeah.
I've actually just changed my mind on that because if you go the opposite way and it scars again, you can quite often kill off the branch if you fully sever the bark.
Or the
So I'm
cambium.
yeah. So I'm just gonna follow that same wire, but I'm not gonna go in the same groove. I'm gonna go sort of
Beside it.
yeah.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah.
I didn't
I have a notion he knows something about bonsai, this man.
Instinctively, I would have thought you'd have gone the opposite way, but I understand why, in fact, that you wouldn't. For
Yeah, you
that
want it to
reason.
still flow.
Yeah.
If you go the other way, you'll cut off. If
Yeah,
it bites
I
in
never
the middle.
thought of that.
Yeah.
Has Adam put anyone to sleep yet? They're not answering you, that might answer the question.
Composting, you know, it makes it all over that.
Sean's talking about composting at the moment.
See the way it's angular here? What do you think of this?
Which one's angular where? Oh, is that the 90-degree bend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that. What I would, if you wire right in the crutch of that one and then try and open that out just a little bit, I would rotate and...
Might double the wire up on this one.
Did you do your wire test? I remember watching one of your videos where you said, how do I know what thickness wire to use?
Yeah.
And we used the Notion wire test.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything that I pick up from other people, I use that. It actually works.
Yeah.
Is there a reason you didn't try that when you were doing it?
Well, I just felt that this wire would be best for it.
I suppose that's from the experience. Yeah. So how much wire do you know to cut? Because I always find the biggest problem I have is I'm worried about using too much wire because it costs, but making sure I've got enough wire so I don't run out in the trees.
Yeah. I normally measure it first, so just sort of rough guesstimate. For around the trunk, yeah, maybe a length and then just a little bit more for the thickness of the trunk, of how much you're going to go around.
And what could you do with the offcuts?
You could use them for, when you wire the mesh of the tree into the pots, you can just use them.
So we're all into looking after recycling goods and stuff like that.
Even if you cut wire off of the tree, this is still usable. Maybe this piece could be used for that, but you can also take these to like a metal scrapyard and get whatever aluminium sells for. I know some people do this, like big nurseries, if they have a lot of it.
Or you could use pieces of those, I find, use them for bridges on bonsai pots that only have a single hole.
Ah, yeah.
What's your favourite tree to work on?
I quite like junipers and maples. You don't really need to wire them that much, and if you do, the wire isn't on that long.
Yeah.
It's more, maples are more suited to the clip and grow.
I must say, I was really impressed when you did that Toyogawa juniper, because I've got one just like that and I still haven't done what you did.
Yeah.
But I've bookmarked your video because that's quite a good one.
Yeah. I'm just wiring all the branches down.
Yeah.
So that is the tree finished styling for this time. This branch down here is going to be let to elongate and hopefully get rid of the scarring on this part of the branch in the near future. This is kept for possibly the new leader of this branch. We've just pruned it to an overall triangular shape.
Thanks very much, Adam.
No problem. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions of Adam about what he's done?
Nice work, Adam. No, you're alright. Can you give us an opinion on what's the future of the trees going to be?
This branch down here was kept to elongate, so it will thicken here a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And when it thickens here, it'll get rid of some of them wire marks that were just there from the wire. Then this one is kept so that here, as this branch develops, we'll eventually cut back to this and have this as the new leader for that branch, so you get a little bit of taper on the branch, and then everything else was pruned to just a triangular shape. Thank you for letting me work on one of your trees today.
No, thank you for stepping up and getting creative.
It's an honour.
Oh, thank you, Adam.
I finally got a Zelkova for my Elm Cover collection. I'm really happy.
Oh, the one that I showed in the thing, yeah.
That's good. Tony's auctioning off and selling some of his trees to all the people that is here today, and I have chosen a beautiful little Blas juniper. This is it down here. As you can see, it's got lots of beautiful foliage, and it was £30 at a bargain. Here is Mandy.
Hiya.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. Lovely for seeing you.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Watched you for about a year on YouTube. Give lots of good advice.
Oh, thank you. I always see your comments. You're always there in the comment section. What is this you got?
Hornbeam.
Hornbeam. Beautiful.
And I picked this because I know I feel I know what I want to do with it.
Yeah.
Whereas there is a Abbey's Picea down there, which I wouldn't know what to do with, so I'm not having that one.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's beautiful. It's got lovely movement in the
Yeah, it's got a good movement. It's got lots of potential.
Yeah.
Talking about Tony.
Second number is number 2.
Definitely fixed.
I won't believe you when you say you
I've never won anything before.
You've won.
Where am I allowed to pick from?
What are you going to go for?
Just
Table.
Tony.
That's a nice one.
Watch your back.
That one, beautiful. Next is number 112. Taking that one, very nice. What is it? A Mugo Mops. Enjoy. You got one? Oh, beautiful. Love that one. That one, wonderful. Last 2. It's yours. Wonderful. Well done.
Sycamore.
Sycamore. That's a good mix. There you go. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
In the raffle we have won this little sycamore, and it's in this beautiful little blue bonsai pot. You can show it there. It was cut here, and then this little side branch was allowed to become the new leader and apex of the tree. So Tony has just give out some of his famous chopsticks that he makes himself. These are for working on the soil of trees, and I got Tony to sign this one. He says T-Dog, and on this side he has written Bonsai Master. And I think when I get back home, what I'm going to do, just to make this permanent, because over time of working on trees, this permanent marker will wear off. And what I'm going to do is engrave with a little engraving tool this onto this, so it becomes a permanent part of the chopstick. This is a beautiful beech forest. Look at that. So this big great pot. This is Alex.
Hello.
You enjoying the day?
Yes, yeah, it's been great. Yeah, really, really good.
What was your favourite part?
Ooh,
My demonstration.
it
right?
might have been your demonstration, yeah, and maybe getting this
Oh yeah, you got
this
one?
lovely chopstick, yeah.
You getting it signed?
Oh, I don't know, is that available?
I got mine signed.
I'm gonna. Oh, you. Oh.
It is, but there's a £5 signing fee.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. I'll think about it.
Adam, I'm absolutely crackered. You had a good time?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
It's been fantastic. And I even got to meet this big star called Jason.
Yeah.
He's larger than life. And his shirts.
How rude. You saying I'm fat?
No.
And you can see here over this way, if you've seen any of Tony's videos, this is the famous wall. We're just about coming to a close now.
Look, black pine and Scots
Are you
pine.
taking all of these?
I'm taking them all. I don't know what they are though. It's for the wire value.
That looks like a larch.
No, it isn't. That is not. Is it?
Oh, I think it is.
What are that? What do you think that is then?
This one. It looks like a pine.
Pine.
Or maybe.
As long as it stays alive, I'll be main thing.
All right. So we arrived back in Jason's garden, and we have just finished filming for today. I just want to show you guys this garden here at night time. So beautiful. You can just hear like the beautiful sound of the water over there. And then he's got all these lights lighting the place up at night. You can see the fish curtains up there. And then on this side is all Jason's prize trees. There's the beautiful little lantern. And now it's time for bed. Good morning, it is the next day and I'm in Jason's car right now and we're just about to go to the airport to head back to Ireland. Had a great time.
We're not coming with you.
Oh well, I'm heading back home. It is now a few days later and this package has just arrived this morning. I didn't expect to be including this part in the video, but I thought since it arrived, I'm going to open this. This is all of the trees that we got at Tony's and Jason was kind enough to post this back to Ireland for me. Let's get it open. What is this? Ah, no way. This is called Haiku Dreams by Jason Hanrahan. I'm gonna have a good read at this later on today. There is this Juniper cuttings from Tony's, and I didn't pay for these ones. These were some Blas Juniper cuttings that Tony actually gifted to me. They're looking pretty healthy, so they may have a few roots on them already. This is the cuttings from Tony here. This is the Sycamore that we won in the raffle. I really like this tree. This is the little Sycamore here. You can see the beautiful Sycamore leaves on it. There it is there. Large Juniper. I think this is the Blas Juniper that we got. We got some packing peanuts. Wow, that was packaged so well. And Jason has wired all of the trees into the boxes with some bonsai wire, which I'll definitely reuse. My plan with this juniper is to put it into a larger pot next spring and try and get this trunk really thick on it. So each year I'm just going to incrementally up pot it until I have this maybe like this thick of a trunk on it in the really far future. So I'm probably not going to work on this in a video for quite a while unless I'm up potting it. I'm such a big fan of junipers, and this particular variety is so similar to Itaagawa, but it does have its subtle differences in color and foliage thickness. It says Trident Maple. And this, I'm gonna guess, Jason has put this in from one of his trees. All right, look at this. Little Trident Maple. All right, look at that. So this is a little Trident Maple. As you can see, it has the classic Trident Maple leaves on it. And as far as I know, Trident Maples are quite vigorous growers. They can thicken up in a pretty short amount of time. Thank you very much for this little Trident Maple, Jason. And now before I end off this video, I have a special message from Xavier Martinez. If you happen to be there on the day and you got one of Tony's trees, whether it be purchased or won in the raffle or in the auction, if you could, please send any updates and photographs of them trees to Xavier so that he can include them in his Tony's special videos. That way followers of Tony's channel can still see the updates on them trees, and Tony can see the trees also. I would also like to say a massive thank you to Tony and his family for putting together such a wonderful event. I really had a good time, and I can say confidently everyone else had a fantastic time. Oh yeah, I did end up also engraving the chopstick that Tony signed. This is it here. I both engraved the Bonsai Master side and the side that says T-Dog, and then after engraving it I sort of filled it in with black ink, and then my plan then is to just treat this so that it doesn't rub off. And because I got two of these handmade chopsticks from Tony, I'm going to use this one to work on trees, and I'm going to keep this one as a special one signed by Tony. I would also like to say a massive thank you to Jason Hanrahan and his partner David for allowing me to stay in their wonderful home for a few days. It really made the whole traveling process so much easier of actually going over to the event. So guys, thank you so very much for that. But on that, it's just started raining. I'm going to end off this video right here. If you enjoyed, please leave a like on this video. It really helps out the channel a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Be sure to check out Jason's, Xavier's and Tony's channel. I'll leave a link to them in the description. And let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments below. I may do more travel videos like this in the future. If you would like to support me in the things that I do on this channel, hit the thanks button down below. And if you would like to stay updated on all of the things that I do off camera, please follow me on Instagram. It's @NotionBonsai, and you'll be able to see all the things that I do on there. But on that, it's raining a lot now. Thank you so very much for watching. I gotta get this camera away.